be recognized. Jinky 25. With the shadow of constriction and the city of universal love, it's the path of acceptance. My wisdom story. I grew up in a strict household where boys were expected to be strong. Even when my beloved older brother died from an illness, I wasn't allowed to cry. I took all of the pain and vulnerability inside of me and buried it deep within. I married at a young age to a kind, sensitive woman who took care of our home and gave me 2 sons. I provided for my family, but I was emotional ignorant and constricted. There were times my wife would ask me if I was happy. Not knowing what to say, I tell her I was fine. Until the day my firstborn son died. My wife's broken heart flowed like a river, while mine turned to ice. I wouldn't allow his name to be spoken and forced my wife to get rid of anything that reminded me of our son. Then I became obsessed with things. My house, my money, my wife, my child, they were all mine. I forbade my wife and younger son from leaving the house. If they showed signs of emotional weakness, I became cold or exploded with rage. At times I could barely breathe. I was engulfed by a fear so primal it pervaded every moment of every day. I hated that fear and lashed out at anyone who reminded me of it. I was completely unreachable. It wasn't until I discovered that my wife had kept a picture of our first son and saw my son's terror as I raised my hand to strike her, that I collapsed onto the floor, shaking like a leaf. Though I didn't deserve it, my wife and son held me until my tears trickled out of my heart. My breath deepened. My body gave way to the grief of my entire life. Finally, a love, lightness, and softness came over me, my wife and son, that we had never known. This was many years ago, but it marked the beginning of a blessed and joyous family life filled with love, poems, whirling dances, and mystical celebrations. Look into my eyes, and you will feel the love that comes from accepting and being accepted in one's darkest wounds. My gift to you. When I look into your eyes, I see innocence and trustworthiness, a deep optimism that remains untouched no matter what has happened in your life. I know from experience just how difficult it can be to experience true acceptance of yourself, of another. Like me, you will be tested in this life, but I am here to reassure you that if you commit yourself to embracing your deepest wounds, no matter how deep and painful they are, you will find that there is no wound in this whole world that you cannot bear or embrace. Worries and grudges will naturally slip away, and wherever you go, you will know in the depth of your heart that you belong. I come to bathe you in the warmth of unconditional and universal love. You are so worthy. And now some questions for contemplation. What experience from your past have you not yet fully accepted? What wound are you refusing to feel? How can you give expression to that wound, to a person, in a poem? Have you ever opened up your pain and discovered a greater capacity for love and a deeper connection with the world? When have you experienced universal love? How did it feel? If you can feel that you carry a very big wound, I invite you to seek support from someone, a counselor, therapist, or spiritual guide, who can hold your hand as you move towards acceptance and liberate your heart. Much love and happy contemplating.